she talks to Jane, she's like, that's fucking uncool. And Jane is like, why are you being such a girl about it? And I'm like, damn it, Jane.
Fucking Jane. Annoying. But then Paige comes home from work, I guess. And, like, Griffin, like, leads her into her, like, newly renovated room. And I'm like, he property brothered her room.
He did, but also I hate it. He did a bad job.
Well, it's just, the walls alone are just not doing any favors.
Like, maybe if the walls were, like, gray, I think maybe I could be slightly more on board.
Yeah.
Like a very, like, chill gray.
It was a very 2008 room, I guess. Maybe. It was very, like, Pottery Barn teen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's just that those walls are
the walls
so
are
much.
so bad. And they're, like, candles lit and everything. And they're like, and he's like, so do you like it? And then she's like, why don't you tell me? And then, like, kisses him. And then they, like, kiss a little bit. And then he stops. And you're like, yeah, this is your moment, dude. And she's like, oh, you don't want to do this. And he's like, no, I do. It's just, I don't know. And then he fucking backs out of that and doesn't tell her about it. But right before they're about to have sex, and it's a bad call. It's a bad move, dude.
It's uncool. Also, is this legal?
I feel like you're legally required to tell somebody this before engaging in sexual relations. But I don't know. Maybe it's a U.S. thing. Maybe it's different in Canada.
Hashtag maybe it's different.
No.
Hashtag maybe it's different.
Yeah. I mean, it shouldn't be different, but whatever. And then the next day, he's like kind of like sneaking out of her room, and she wakes up, and he's like, I didn't want to wake you. And he kind of has like a smug smile on his face because he's so happy that he like had sex with Paige. But I'm just like, you idiot.
Just so mad at him the entire time.
Yeah, it's annoying.
It's a lot.
And then
she's like all like hurt, like, are you leaving? Like, what's happening? And he's like, I just want you to sleep. And you should have told her.
Yeah.
You idiot. And then you hear, so Degrassi is doing this fucking ADR bullshit for every episode. You hear Marco and Ellie have a conversation. I'm like, I love them so much, but also it's like clearly like put in there.
It's like, Marco, we're going to be late for linguistics. And he's like, Ellie, it's linguistics, not a movie theater. We don't need to be there. Like, we don't need to get good seats for class or something like that. It's so dumb.
Something along the lines. And she's like, take your coffee mug. And I'm like, they are married.
They're becoming the same person.
I love it so much.
Also, do they take all of the same classes as each other?
Yes. What the fuck do they do? What are they? Like, what are their, like, if Ellie's journalism, is Marco also journalism?
I don't think he knows. I don't know.
Is Marco just in school?
Maybe they're just doing all their gen eds together. Like, maybe. I don't know.
Is Marco just in school to hang out with Ellie? Is that what's happening?
I don't know. We don't know what he wants to do.
I don't get it.
Do we?
I don't get it.
I don't know. Oh, Marco.
And then Paige realizes that Griffin left his wallet. So she's like, oh, okay, I'll put it back for him and be nice. So she like writes a cute little note and goes into his room, which for some reason is like a cavern and is fully empty except for like a desk.
And a Prince poster.
Weird decorative choices. I don't understand.
And then she like opens a drawer and sees a bunch of pills. And I'm like, oh, Paige, you snoop. And then she's like, it's none of my business. And like goes to walk away. But then she like runs immediately back and like starts looking at everything.
I mean, I get it. But you know what? It's not her fault. She was returning his wallet and she didn't even open the drawer. The drawer was open.
Oh, yeah. I can't
So
remember.
she just like looked down and there was like all of these pills.
What?
And like, honestly, if I had I'm just saying, I would, it's not cool, but also I probably would have done the same thing.
Yeah. It's kind of sketchy.
But
and also it's like not even just that she had just slept with him. He's also her roommate. And if he's taking all these crazy, like, you don't know if those are like actually prescription or if he has like a pill addiction or like,
or maybe he's like selling drugs.
Or,
you don't know.
Like, you don't know it's kind of sketchy no matter the situation. Like, I get it.
But of course she calls Marco to help her snoop. But that's after, because my next note is about internalized misogyny.
Oh, yeah. Mine is, yeah. So then Jane and Spinner and Jimmy are like hanging out outside. And Jane's talking about how, or Spinner's telling Jimmy about how Jane like totally burned Peter in class.
Because Spinner, for some reason, is in their English class. Has he never moved up in English?
Well, I think
he's a senior and they're juniors.
Well, he got like expelled and then he had to come back again and repeat a year again, and he was already repeating English anyway. So if he's a senior, he's probably still in junior English because he was always behind.
Oh, right. That makes sense.
You know? If I were to guess, he's going to do this and then he might do senior English as like summer school, and then he'll be like officially graduated. I don't know. I have no idea.
It's funny to see him in that class.
Yeah.
He looks so much older than everybody else.
But they're talking about her like sick burn, and then Jane is like, but Darcy's mad at me, and Jimmy's like, oh, well, did you at least apologize? And then Jane's like, well, I told her like she was overreacting and not to be such a girl about it. And he's like, yeah, you got a big thing to dig yourself out of. And she like doesn't see the problem,
which is
with her non-apology.
I take a lot of issue with, because I definitely like for a time was one of these girls who was like, I only want to hang out with boys because girls are so much drama.
She's like, I don't get along with other girls. Like, I don't want to hang out with other. Like, I hate those people.
I hate that, and it's
so stupid.
It's internalized misogyny, because it's like you are saying that every single girl is exactly the same.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Which is just not fucking true.
No,
like it's super sexist.
Yeah.
Like, just to be like, well, every single girl that's ever existed is like catty and mean and shallow, and like, who the fuck are you?
And it's also like you're aligning yourself with men because you inherently think that they're like better than women, and you're like trying to show that you're better than all the other girls because you don't hang out with the other. It's so stupid, and I hate it.
You're so cool. You're not like other girls. Fun
Fuck
fact,
you.
if a guy ever says that to you, fucking
Run away.
Don't date him.
Run
He
away.
sounds like a dick.
Run away.
Run.
Ugh. Jesus Christ. All right. Anyway, so then Marco and Paige are snooping through the pills, and this is when Marco is wearing that scarf, and then they're
It's so much.
going through all the pills, and then Paige finally it's like, I recognize this one. Why do I know what this is?
Because it's AZT. I can't remember the first part of it, but it's like colloquially just called AZT. And I was like, Marco, you've seen Rent. Like, you know what this is. He's like, I don't know.
I don't know what this is.
And,
yeah.
And also, like, I don't know. But Paige, like, especially since Marco, like, does a ton of research.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm sure that when he was like figuring out like his sexuality, and
he was throwing a blood drive.
Yes, and with the blood drive, like we know that he
went
definitely
to Africa. Didn't he help out with this stuff in Africa?
Yes, he should fucking
know this stuff.
It's ridiculous for a person that does this much research and then also like specifically worked on AIDS things in Africa. Like,
yeah,
buddy,
did we just forget that? Like, why wasn't he the one to be like, Paige, I know what this is because I have dealt with this shit before.
These are so many holes. I think the Degrassi writers just like forgot that Marco did this.
Maybe they're new and they weren't there before and they like didn't remember.
But also like AZT is mentioned in Rent several times.
But then Paige is like, oh fuck, I know what this is. It's HIV cocktail or whatever.
And you see it, but like it's very sad because you see the realization come over her face, and it just goes from like, she goes from like being confused and like, what is this, to like sheer terror.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's just sad to watch and witness.
And then Ellie comes in and she's like, I got an emergency text like minutes before class. What's going on? And then they tell her that Griffin has HIV, and then Ellie is like, oh my god. And
then she looks at their orange juice, which by the way is just on the counter. That's disgusting. Fucking put it in the refrigerator, you dicks. And she's like, we all drank out of the same orange juice, which Ellie,
stupid. And
you
she's
guys.
like, I know it can't get transmitted that way, but still. I'm like, what? Ellie.
Who is this person? This is a different human. Like, she went to college and her brain became different. Yeah.
I don't get it.
She's an entirely different character. And it really, like, it bums me out something fierce.
And then Griffin comes home and is like, what's going on, guys?
Oh, well, first Paige is like, yeah, Ellie, if it freaks you out, just imagine how I feel because I slept with him. And then she and Marco are both like, gasp.
And then Griffin comes home and is like, what's going on? And then Paige, like, whips around and holding the pills and is like, when were you going to tell me?
Because she is
dramatic.
So dramatic, and it's the best.
And then he's like, oh, shoot.
But of course, the first thing out of his mouth is, I can't believe you went through my stuff.
Yeah, which is like, come on, bro.
And
it's like, and
that is
like,
so not the point.
I think your thing tops my thing. And he's like, I don't know, it's never the right time, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, now I have to pay for, like, your lifestyle or whatever. And I'm like, oh, that's not great.
It's not the best.
Even if he had contracted it by having sex with another person, it's like, let's not judge what people do, okay? Come on,
guys. But also, like, she's justifiably pissed off.
Oh, yeah. Because he didn't fucking tell her.
Yeah, it's not like because he has HIV.
It's not like, I hate you because you have HIV. It's like, why didn't you fucking tell me this? This would have been great information to know yesterday. Like, come on.
Seriously. Like, come on, Griffin.
Yeah.
Fucking tell her. So,
and then he,
she's
like,
very
stormed
justified,
out.
but also, like, Paige, be cool.
And then he's like, my lifestyle? You just assume it's because of my lifestyle? And then he, like, storms out. But then we're at archery club again, and Jane comes up and is like, I'm sorry.
And then she gives Darcy mints, and Darcy's just like, she literally says, are you for real?
Yeah.
Which Darcy, same.
She's like, I didn't tell you this to, like, so you could fix the problem. It was like venting. It's like, this is what friends do.
I feel like there are certain people in my life that I have to, like, explain that to. Like, I have at least one friend who likes to be a big problem solver, and I'll, like, vent about a thing, and she'll be like, well, you could do this or this, and I'm like, that's not what I want from this. And so I've started, like, and by the way, I highly recommend this if you, like, have because I also have this relationship with both of my parents who are like, oh, I'll fix it. And I'm like, that's not what I want.
Yeah.
So I'll start off with, I need to vent about a thing. I do not want you to fix it. Just, like, be like, there. That sucks. And keep going. Like,
yeah.
just say that sucks. Just fucking listen and don't try to solve my stupid problem.
Yeah.
Odds are I know how to solve my stupid problem. I will do it when I'm ready. Or the thing you're suggesting is something that I've already tried and doesn't work. Like, you're new to the problem. You probably don't know how to fix it.
Yeah.
It's a thing that really bothers me. But it's also, like, a pretty classic dude thing.
Yeah. But I also understand not knowing what to say to somebody when they're like, I have this huge problem. And being like, I don't know how to help you. Maybe I'll give you this suggestion. Like, I think I'm definitely guilty of being like, you can do this.
Oh, you're not my friend who does that. You're a good listener.
I know, but I feel like I do that sometimes too, where I'm like, I don't know. Because I know when I'm stressed out, although I don't know. It's different when it's somebody else telling you a problem because you're removed from it and you're like, you can do this and this and this. I don't know. How can I help you? How can I help you not feel stressed out? But when you're venting,
yeah,
you just, like, don't want that.
Sometimes I'll ask. Sometimes I'll be like, do you want advice and help, or do you want to just yell and maybe drink?
Yeah. Well, yeah. And also if someone's like, what do I do? Then
help
that makes it more clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know.
But Darcy's like,
I was literally just venting to you about, but I feel like when you're venting about your boyfriend, it's not like, help me solve this problem.
Exactly.
It's like almost always like, I just need to vent about this thing.
Because I spend a lot of time with this person and this bothers me about them. And I just need to, like, get it out of my system so that I don't go crazy. But,
like, if someone were to say, my boyfriend has really bad breath, I probably wouldn't be like, I got it.
I'm going to fix it for you.
I would maybe be like, I would maybe ask, like, do you want me to be an asshole and say something about it? so you don't have to, but I wouldn't just like do it and be like jungle breath.
Well, it's because you're a good friend. And then Darcy says something that I really like, because they don't like directly address the fact that like Jane